Russian President Vladimir Putin's recent decision to withdraw from the Multilateral Nuclear and Environmental Program, (NEPR), marks a dramatic shift in global nuclear safety and environmental cooperation. By signing a decree on December 28, Putin effectively terminated Russia's participation in a long-standing agreement with Western nations designed to address the Cold War's nuclear legacies. This move has sparked widespread concerns among international diplomats, environmental organizations, and nuclear safety experts, with fears of significant implications for global security, nuclear proliferation, and environmental stability. The NEPR, established in 2003, was created to tackle the grave challenges posed by the remnants of the Soviet Union's extensive nuclear arsenal and infrastructure. The program allowed Western countries, including the United States and European nations, to provide financial, technical, and operational assistance to Russia in dismantling outdated nuclear facilities, decommissioning submarines, and managing radioactive waste. It also fostered transparency, ensuring that nuclear materials were not diverted to unauthorized actors, including terrorist organizations. For years, the agreements served as a symbol of pragmatic cooperation between Russia and the West, even amid geopolitical tensions. Russia's withdrawal comes at a time of heightened tensions with Western nations, particularly in the wake of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Moscow's relations with the West have deteriorated to their lowest point since the Cold War, with sanctions, military confrontations, and diplomatic standoffs becoming the norm. Against this backdrop, Putin's decision is widely interpreted as part of a broader strategy to assert Russian sovereignty and reduce reliance on Western involvement in its internal affairs. The Kremlin justified its move by stating that the NEPR had outlived its usefulness and that Russia had developed the capacity to handle nuclear decommissioning and environmental cleanup independently. However, critics argue that this reasoning masks deeper political motivations. By distancing itself from Western initiatives, Russia appears to be reinforcing its narrative of self-reliance and resistance to perceived Western encroachment. The immediate consequences of Russia's withdrawal are already sparking concerns among international observers. The country's vast nuclear infrastructure, much of which dates back to the Soviet era, includes aging reactors, spent fuel storage sites, and decommissioned submarines scattered across its territories. Without the continued support and oversight provided by the NEPR, many experts fear that Russia could struggle to maintain the same level of safety and environmental management. Past incidents, such as the Chernobyl disaster in 1986 and the 2019 explosion during a missile test in Arkhangelsk, underscore the catastrophic risks associated with lapses in nuclear safety. Additionally, environmental activists warn that Russia's decision could exacerbate existing issues related to radioactive contamination. The Arctic region, in particular, has long been a focus of international concern due to its proximity to nuclear storage sites and its vulnerability to ecological disruptions. With climate change already putting immense pressure on the Arctic, the potential for unchecked nuclear contamination poses a grave threat to the region's ecosystems and the global environment. Russia's withdrawal also has significant implications for global nuclear security. The NEPR was instrumental in ensuring that nuclear materials from decommissioned weapons and facilities were safely managed, reducing the risk of proliferation. Without the transparency and cooperation fostered by the program, there is a heightened risk that these materials could fall into the wrong hands. This concern is especially acute given the rise of non-state actors and terrorist groups with a demonstrated interest in acquiring nuclear capabilities. For Western nations, Russia's decision represents a major setback in efforts to address shared security and environmental challenges. The NEPR was one of the few remaining avenues of constructive engagement with Moscow, providing a platform for dialogue and collaboration despite broader geopolitical disagreements. Its dissolution highlights the increasing difficulty of finding common ground with Russia on critical global issues. The broader geopolitical context cannot be ignored. Russia's withdrawal from the NEPR is consistent with a pattern of disengagement from international agreements and institutions, including its suspension of participation in the New START nuclear arms control treaty earlier this year. This trend reflects a growing divide between Russia and the West, with both sides entrenched in competing narratives of sovereignty and influence. Moving forward, the international community faces a challenging landscape. Some experts argue that Western nations must redouble their efforts to address nuclear risks through alternative mechanisms, such as strengthening their own security measures and seeking partnerships with other global players. Others emphasized the need for continued engagement with Russia, even in the face of significant political and ideological differences, to prevent the erosion of hard-won progress in nuclear safety and environmental protection. For Russia, the decision to terminate its involvement in the NEPR carries risks as well. While the Kremlin portrays the move as a demonstration of strength and independence, it also isolates the country from valuable resources, expertise, and collaboration that have proven critical in managing its nuclear legacy. Should incidents of nuclear or environmental mismanagement occur, they could undermine Russia's claims of self-sufficiency and damage its international reputation further. As the world grapples with the implications of this development, one thing is clear: the legacy of the Cold War's nuclear arsenal remains a pressing challenge that transcends national borders and political ideologies. Whether through renewed dialogue or alternative strategies, the global community must find ways to address these risks and ensure the safety and security of future generations. The stakes are too high for inaction, and the lessons of the past must guide efforts to navigate this complex and uncertain terrain.